In a memory called Empire, we see that the language isn't just about speaking. It's basically how Texcalan decides who belongs and who has power. In the first video, you heard about how Mahit struggles with her identity because she's surrounded by Texcalanli culture. But here, I want to focus on how language and culture don't just influence identity, they are also tools the Empire uses to control other stations, especially Lasalle Station. Texcalan is clearly imperialistic. They don't expand through open war. They do it through culture, law, and by making everyone else feel like they need to sound and act Texcalanly. A good example is when 8 Loop, the head of judiciary, releases a public statement about the legality of annexation. It's written in dense, poetic legal language that only insiders understand. And even though it never says we're taking LaSalle, it basically sets up the legal conditions where absorbing a place like LaSalle could be justified. This shows how Texcalan uses language, especially legal language, to make expansion seem normal and almost elegant. The Reactor magazine article, A Memory Called Empire and the Echoes of Cultural Imperialism, explains this perfectly. It says Texcalan expands by cultural absorption, by making outsiders want to talk like them, act like them, and eventually think like them. That's exactly what happens to Mahit. When she worries, she doesn't sound Texcalan enough. She's responding to a system where your language basically decides whether your voice matters. So even though speaking Texcalanly gives Mahit more influence inside the empire, it also pushes her toward becoming something she's not. She can feel her LaSalle identity slipping the more she tries to fit in. Language can empower someone, but in a place like Texcalan, it can also be quite form of control, something that shapes you before you even realize it's happening.